Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada. We're here at the Ada Fruit Factory in downtown Manhattan. We're going to check in with people from around the maker, hacker, crafter, roboticist community, see what they're up to. We got a bunch of people. Thanks to JP for hosting last week's Show and Tell, but we're back. Yeah. I know you missed us.
I love being back. I love being a turtle. Thank you so much, everyone, for helping us kick off this year. Everybody's gone, so we were able to take off our masks. Please, everyone, continue to stay safe as we all surf this wave. This week, starting it off, is Jay for DigiKey.
Hey, Jay.
Jay, what you got going on this week?
Okay, so I've been working on this new wearable robot that I've named Multi. It's a little robot that actually has a camera inside of him because recently I am going to be doing a lot more recording and like videography type stuff for my projects. So I've been working on a wearable robot that I can like have around my area and then like look around and like record stuff for me because I sometimes mess up and forget to record important things and then have to like fake it and it's never the same. Like I can't get the same energy sometimes. So I'm trying to create something that I can constantly have going on. So Multi is using a Raspberry Pi as a brain, as a camera in here, and the eyes for me. That way I know where to look. But it's using a mini Maestro for the servo movements right now. I'm still getting the programming together. It still is not perfect. It still has some design flaws that I'm working on. But yeah, this is what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Is January, right? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
We post a lot of little short videos all throughout the week on all the social channels and stuff. And I hear you. We just have to figure out like how do we always make sure we do something because we'll do something we're like, oh no, we forgot to hit record or like I didn't check the mic on it and like the last 15 minutes there was nothing going on. So looking forward to what you come up with. If you could figure out something that will let you know if you're live broadcasting or not. That's also helpful too if you do live.
Yeah, I thought about that, which right now I'm just putting this to be my facial recognition so I can just turn them on, plug them up, and then just look at me. And while I'm working, it'll keep recording what's going on around me thanks to like, cool. A nice lens. That's my plan for now. Of course, I want to make them mobile later, and I plan to attach legs so it can be wearable. That way I can take them outside because that's, a fun thing to do with wearable robots. Yeah. But for right now, this is just going to become my little assistant for my little chaos that I have going on.
That's really cool. The other thing is time lapses are kind of hard to do because you have to keep them still. That might be neat to make that work with a time lapse too. So you could do a build, but it'll follow you as you do it. And then you just batch it out and then you've got the speed up at the end.
Yeah, it's really hard. People don't really, I know they'll talk about it much, and I'm not going to go into it, but it's really hard to remember to turn on the camera when you're doing stuff because I get so involved in the project and I'll get so far in it and then realize I have nothing recorded.
Yeah.
I forget to eat or do bio things, and I'm just like, oh, I haven't eaten in a day because I've been busy on stuff. So
you need that matrix tube that goes into your throat and feeds you.
That'll be next.
All right, well, thank you, Jay.
Thank you so much, Jay. Good to see you. Happy New Year, and looking forward to all the great projects you're doing and more. And thanks, DigiKey, for working with Jay and getting all his cool projects out there. Thank you.
Laters.
All right. Next up, Joey, congratulations on your successful crowd supply. Tell us all about what happened. We're backers.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's the sensor watch gadget I've been working on for about a year now, and it's I think the last time I brought it on, it was just a little I think I'd gotten the LCD to work and it was displaying a green LED and it was kind of basic. Now it's doing a lot more things, the crowd supply campaign we put it up there, and in 23 hours it got almost 300 people backed it. It's amazing.
Oh, so awesome.
So I was going to show off
media outreach too. I guess people have been watching you do this, and so they've been like excited. You've been marketing it for a year.
Someone was talking to me about this today, saying I'm marketing it, but I'm just kind of sharing my process. And I realized the kind of folks who are into this are just into the sharing of the process,
Yeah. They want to be part of what you're doing because you look like you're having a lot of fun.
One time we said when someone asked what Adafruit does, because they're like, you just do a bunch of documentation, but I don't think you do marketing. And we said good information is advertising. And I think you told a story with the beginning, middle, and now there's something that people can do to participate who've been following this along. So congratulations. We always tell folks, just start a blog, post up photos on social media, but just make sure you tell the story. Working in stealth mode doesn't make sense. A lot can happen too. You never know.
For sure.
Right.
I was going to show a couple of things that it can do if you all have
go
a
for
moment.
it.
Yep, do it.
Let's share the
I
screen.
got a screen share here.
Yep.
So one of the things I'm really stoked about is this is the one I'm doing is a battery test. So this has been running for over 2 months now, and in this kind of low power mode where it's just ticking and talking, it's consuming under 10 microamps of power.
Wow.
So it's really low power, and we got the little coin cell in here. So I'm going to wake it up by pressing here, and then you've got your temperature sensor. So this is showing the live temperature. It's getting warmer because I'm holding onto it, and it's my finger is holding it. And this is the number of days in the battery test.
Huh.
And then I just got some other stuff that we've been working on. So now there's a couple of people who have beta boards out there, and let's get here. Well, first of all, the world clock. I had the James Webb Space Telescope on my mind, so I put Goldstone, Madrid, and Canberra, the 3 places where we have the Deep Space Network.
Oh,
so you can see the time.
Put in Mars Sol days, because that's always fun.
I'm working on that. I
For
did
like
a
the
demo
3
with
people who work at
Mars.
NASA, but they're going to be so happy.
So stoked, right? Yeah, I want to get that ported over. I did it in an old version of the watch, but I want to make it better and bring it in this time. So
cool.
Definitely on the horizon. You got a stopwatch and a countdown that Wesley Ellis did, and he's a backer who's playing with beta. And then this is just cool. It's the 2-factor authentication thing. It's counting down a 2-factor code. Just a demo, not my real code.
That's useful. No, I've already hacked into your Gmail. I would use that every day because I'm constantly getting pinged on my 2-factor.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to just kind of share like some of the excitement that I had for I'm just so grateful for everyone who's backed the thing, and just really stoked.
I love it. I love just like hacking these watches. It's so fun.
Yeah. And
we got to get Circuit Python running on it too. Like,
of course,
it's got to happen.
And then for the folks who've followed along for a while, Joey won a Hackaday contest, and it was right before the pandemic started. And we're going to make you're known for your e-ink open source ebook reader. So
we're still going to do that.
Yeah, we're still going to do it. I'm hoping because we're soon going to run out of people that can get COVID. It seems. I hope maybe this summer we can do that too, or maybe in the spring. That would be great to hang out, and we'll definitely be on time because we'll all have these watches that you're sending out.
Definitely.
We'll all know what time where each other needs to show up at places.
Oh, can you do? Because I'm going to get a watch. Can you also add like a Pomodoro timer thing? Because I need to remember to get up.
I feel like once we get hardware in people's hands and people are stoked about writing code for like stuff where people have asked about a Pomodoro, and I'm like, I'd love to write a Pomodoro.
I've written it like 15 times. I can write it. So what's it coded in? Is it Arduino or is it?
It's just plain old C.
C.
It's
okay,
C
cool.
with a makefile. So yeah.
Okay, well, AVR GCC is good to go, and then sweet.
Yeah, I've got a little framework called Movement, and it's a kind of an easy way just to add a watch face into the mix. So
interesting. You might be able to add Arduino support, or somebody else could. I mean, like we've got SAMD, and it was variant might just work.
It might work, yeah. But I'm really stoked about Circuit Python. It feels like it's just so close,
That'd be really cool. Is there a USB port? How do you connect to it?
The watch itself, I don't have a blank board on me, but the board itself plugs directly into a USB cord.
Oh, so you can open it up, program it, and then put it back together.
And put it back in. So yeah, you can't plug it in from the outside. So just have to take it apart and put it back together.
That's fine. Well, it's not waterproof then, right? So there you go.
Right, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by, Joey.
Well, congrats.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, and as we see your updates and more, we'll retweet them or hit like or wherever we see them. We'll help get the word out. And congratulations once again.
Thank you again.
All right, nice
Cheers.
work, Joey. Go back this crowd supply.
All right, next, Pedro, what you got going on this week?
Hey, what's up, folks? Hey. Yeah, so this week we got a little 3D printed case for the Cutie Pie ESP32S2. Shout out to Brent because he kind of wanted this. He asked last week if we had a case for the Cutie Pie, like a generic multi-purpose one. We didn't, so we figured, okay, cool, we could make a Cutie Pie case for this week, but how do we make it so that you can add different stemma sensors to it? So I came up with these little vents that can be used as like mounting rails. So I have the little AHT20 stemma sensor here. It's got the temperature and humidity. And we just have it plugged in with the little stemma QT cable. And it works pretty well. I also have some tabs on the side. So if folks want to attach this to a different surface, I thought it'd be fun to add like a little thing here. Little, I don't know, tag, I guess. Kind of like those products. Tag. Yeah. On those
it's like a hang tab.
A hang tab. There you go. That's
They're
what
called
it's called.
sombrero tags. Technically.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Sombrero tags.
I don't know if you're
cool. I learned something.
That's what they're called.
I learned something new. The top has also these sort of rails, and I figured, well, what kind of things I could put on there, and you can fit a lot of stuff in here. So here I have the little OLED stemma display and a little rotary encoder. So it'd be kind of fun to add different things to the top there, and just with a couple screws and the standoffs. But yeah, the Cutie Pie just snap fits into this little built-in holder, and I'm hoping to do a layer on how you can kind of CAD this up in different ways. But yeah, this is kind of a neat way to get
I
a
like this
PCB without
modular
any mounting holes.
box. It's
Yeah,
nice.
it's kind of neat. Yeah, and it's all parametric too, so folks want to edit the dimensions of it. It's not too hard to do so. So that's this week's kind of quick 3D print, a little case for the Cutie Pie. And it should fit all the Cutie Pies because we have quite a few of them now.
They're all the same size.
Yeah,
They're all the
and
same size.
We'll show these videos on Ask an Engineer, and right now we're still working out the name for the add-ons. Right now we're calling them BFFs, Best Friends Forever. We also were thinking of nuggets, and some people suggested sprinkles and other things.
Sprinkles is cute.
Mullet was one of the suggestions as well. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see what ecosystem that comes out of this that anyone can build things for. So thanks for making something already for people to
Sure.
store and share.
Cool.
Guys.
All right.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
JP, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm excited about Joey's thing because I have a Casio watch that's ready for his board, and it's finally going to come true. I'm finally going to get to use Swatch Beats time.
Yes.
Remember that?
I
'Cause
think
I've
you and I
never
have
had a
joked
watch.
about this for
What
the.
is
I've known
Swatch
JP for a while. I think every year somehow, some way, we make a joke about
Somehow it
Swatch
comes
time.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
So thanks, and many other reasons to want that. So that's very cool. So what I wanted to show today is this thing I've been working on. If you can share my screen there,
Yeah.
this is my arcade button and joystick Pianocade remake, which is based on a project from maybe 8 years ago that was a synthesizer. This one's a synth using the Feather M4 in the audio library, as well as MIDI, classic MIDI, and USB MIDI out on it. And the way I have it set up right now, I'm using the buttons to play an arpeggio, which is kind of a chord played one note at a time. And I can increase or decrease the rate of the arpeggio with the joystick, and I also can go up and down octaves with it right now. And this code is gonna change as I go. But if you can hear this, I'm gonna play a little demo of it doing its thing. Let's see. I'll get a little faster.
Finish him.
There you go. So
Strong Castlevania feels.
it does, yeah. Arpeggios are the best, and so I think some things I'm going to be doing with it. I've got this is sort of my temporary case. I'm working on a cooler case right now, but it's probably going to be this laser cut acrylic style. I've got 3 buttons on the front that are just function buttons that right now I just have 2 of them switching waveforms, but those could be to pick different patterns that you play. So maybe one note plays a whole pattern, choose holding or not holding that pattern, and then you can just kind of one finger go and pick cool patterns. And those could be stuff like here's a Castlevania pattern, here's a Zelda pattern, and so on. Yeah. And I think I'll keep the joystick function the way it is because I really like that. It's a lot of fun to be able to go up through the arpeggios real fast.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of the Yngwie Malmsteen mode for all you death metal guitar players with arcade buttons. So that's what I'm working on. And tomorrow I'll be showing some of the design process I've been using on building the case. I got some cool new acrylic in that I'll be cutting tonight into a slightly better pattern, even better. And if you want to come by to the show, I'll be showing off that process.
Yeah, and thank you, JP, for hosting. And Pedro did a couple times, and you did as well. Thanks. We were just taking care of some Adafruit stuff,
Sure.
keeping people safe, and just keeping the business going, getting parts in, shipping stuff. But
I love that you're doing that. So happy to help. Yeah, keep this business going. Keep these
very
lights
much
on.
Appreciate it. I'm very excited about all the stuff we're going to do together in 2022.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much, guys. All right, see you.
Speaking of, Jeff always delivers a delightful. Jeff, what are you doing this week?
Well, as you may have seen from Lamore's recent video, I hit that it's full of stars and I understand everything moment with floppy drives, but I have something a little different than Lamore's video to show you, and that is I'm going to read 5 1/4 inch floppy.
No way.
So
Yes,
I've got got a little bit of a gag program here that acts a little bit like DOS, but let's go ahead and mount that floppy.
And this is
You can see our seeking there.
that's in Circuit Python. You just
This
have
is
look like
really Circuit Python. That part is not a joke.
okay. And you just have
No.
it looks like DOS. but
It
that's-
just looks like DOS, yeah.
That's so cool.
So, all right, directory listing.
I like you can implement DOS in,
In Python,
in
yeah.
Python.
Yeah. And I noticed there's a README file, so let's open that guy up.
Why wouldn't you?
It's
Why
trying
wouldn't
so
you?
hard. I love how hard floppy gets to work. They're just like,
Yeah. And it's like actually the real README is on disk too. I thought that was funny.
yeah. That's
So
funny.
yeah, that's
Cool.
about it. But having a lot of fun with the floppy drives and working next, just kind of getting that to come, getting the pull request actually ready for CircuitPython, and yeah, bringing that functionality in. But if you go find the right branches of this and that in my GitHub, you really can read and mount a floppy with CircuitPython.
Yeah. What's fascinating is when we, Jeff and I, for folks watching, it was, so, it's one of those jokes where you're like, well, when you do it, it should just work. And I was like, well, like after you can read sectors, you should just be able to treat it like, an SD card. It's the same format. It's FAT12 and we have native support. And what's funny is Jeff was like, wow, it really did just work. And I was like, I was kind of kidding. But
well, it was a nice relief after a whole weekend of just marinating in MFM.
Yeah, MFM is weird, but
Yeah.
look, it's what's interesting about like SCSI and mass storage and floppy disks is that the way we store data has not significantly changed in like 40 years. Like we pretty much do the same thing. It's just we fake it now. We're like, well, SD cards have sectors, but it's like those are fake, but it doesn't matter. They're 512 bytes and they will be forever because 5 1/4 inch floppies decided on 512 bytes.
Yeah.
And 3 1/2 inch floppies.
So we have a bunch of stuff going on that we'll continue to share as we do it. But folks were asking, and now we can show them this video. Jeff, they're like, "Are you going to do this? What about these drives? What about that?" And here we are.
Yep. So the 5 1/4 drive just had to change the number of sectors per track from 18 to 15, and it worked. It was really a pleasant experience. So happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, like the Shugart interface is, I have a Shugart 801 that I'm repairing and bringing back to life, and that's a really ancient beast. We're talking about from 70s, and it has the same interface as this modern floppy. It's like they came up with like this idea. I mean, it's FM, it's hard sectored, but the overall way you talk to these drives has not changed.
For sure.
It's cool.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff. And as people said in the chat, everyone seems to have a collection of 5 1/4 disks that they can throw away, but there's no way to get the data off. And now you'll be able to do it with CircuitPython.
Yeah, we're gonna work on GCR, and we're gonna get lots of formats working, and Greaseweasel we've got working. So we're gonna bring a true open source multi-format floppy disk reader, and I'm designing some hardware that'll make it easy to use each other.
Yeah. This feather design you put together really made hooking it up
I'm
pleasant.
gonna revise it to add a shifter because I know people, even though you don't need one, I know people are gonna freak if I don't have one. So I think I'm gonna just add on surface mount on the bottom, add level shifters, and make people happy.
Yeah, should work.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. And I'll say it again. Thank you for all of the delightful things you've been delivering. And I'm looking forward to a fantastic 2022 together. We're kicking it off fantastic already. Yeah, this was great. I had a really, it was like not one day, it was like 2 days because it was so much was going on. And at the end of the night, Lamar said, "You have to see this." I'm just like, "Oh my God." And we filmed it and we published it. It seems like it was a long time ago, but it was just yesterday.
That was last night.
It was less than 12 hours ago.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Night.
All right. Next up, Liz, and then we'll go to Keith. Liz, what you got going on?
Hey, how's it going? This week I got a guide going with a passive mixer. So I've got 2 voices here. So it's 4 inputs, 1 output, all stereo. And the guide's up now. And then the other thing I designed up was I got one of the pink feathers and I wanted to have like a little stand for it. So I just designed up a quick little kind of like L stand. I put the Adafruit logo at the bottom, so it's kind of embossed.
Oh, that's nice.
And sparkly
It's
filament.
like a little holder. It goes well with your pink cutting board.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So got that on my desk.
It's exactly the same shade of pink. It's a little creepy. And then the yellow
Yeah, I didn't plan that, but
and the yellow of the mixer is the same color as the line. So it actually looks like some sort of like Martha Stewart, like, you know, there's like staged photos.
That's right.
Where,
yeah,
like everything matches.
it's probably the most together I've ever been in my life.
This is very Instagram ready.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz. And I'm so glad we got a chance to visit you in person right before everything kind of got a little squirrely on planet
Right.
Earth. That was great timing. We got back, and then, you know, obviously
know, that was
we
last
probably
minute.
wouldn't have, if it was this week, we probably would have had to postpone, but it was good to see you. And I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
all the stuff we're going to do this year.
I'm also looking forward to it too.
Yay. Okay, Liz, take care. And thanks for
Have a
coming
good one.
by.
Thanks.
All right, so we got through some of the Adafruit folks, and then we have, let's see, I think a couple more people, but let's see. Keith, how's it
at
going?
Muse.
What you got going
Hey,
on?
am I on?
Hey, you're
You
on.
are on.
Hey,
It's your
okay.
time.
Well, I'm gonna jump to the fun part, which is I built a little synthesizer, but it's heavily populated with stuff from you guys. So I just want
Oh,
you to
cool.
see. I got your stereo decoder, your lipo, not really in focus, is it? Lipo thing.
No,
Your
that's it.
Yeah. You got a
D
team
class
there?
D amp. What else we got? So it doesn't have to do anything at this point, right? It just
Yeah.
it serves as and there's one of your little gain control amps.
Yeah.
So here's the guy. It's a little synthesizer, and the only thing unusual about it, I guess, is that it has like a whistle interface. So
Ah.
you don't have to. You just sort of whistle, but you don't blow. You just sort of use your mouth like a whistle, and you can control the pitch. So it does a little. It has a little microphone and a speaker, and it pulls your mouth to see what frequency is the natural resonant frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you control it. So I'll try and see if this works. This is demo
Go for
time.
it.
Yeah.
There you
That
go.
is like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That is so cool.
That is so cool.
So it's a little phase lock loop basically, and looking for. I don't know if you remember your physics. I guess it was high school, college physics. There's a phase shift right at the resonant point of a Helmholtz resonator. So it just looks for that, and it locks onto that. So it's perfect for overcompensating for people who want to play an instrument but don't want to learn how an instrument is played. So
I love the elegant interface. It looks really fun because you know humans are like naturally music making, but then this kind of just enhances it. It's like a bicycle for your mouth.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'll use that if
There
you
you
don't
go.
mind.
It's
Like a
weird
bicycle
place.
for your mouth. Unnecessary.
If folks want to find out about this, or are you going to publish anything? Could they remake it? What's your plans with this?
Yeah, so I got a website. I've put up a bunch of stuff on Git. So it's museelectronicinstruments.com. I've made a few of them. I want to make a kit ultimately, but it turns out it's pretty complicated because you have to do some PID tuning and things like that to make it work. I have a few for sale, but all the schematics and stuff are up. And of course, it's an Adafruit design. You just go buy your plug-in boards. It's got the only thing that's really not. I mean, everything's purchased through you. I think the only thing you don't make is the teensy.
Yeah, we sell the teensy though.
Yeah, we saw
The
it.
Yeah. I
plug-in.
mean, I bought it from you, but it's
Yeah.
not blue. I don't. We're
That's
talking about
fine.
pink. It doesn't really match, right?
Well,
the
but
colors
it's
aren't.
okay. It's okay. I mean, we're like a rainbow
Um,
coalition, you know.
And Keith, if you're selling these online, email pt@adafruit.com. I'll do a blog post and have a little spotlight on our blog about your.
Oh, that'd be nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated by this. It's an interesting and extremely hard problem. I remember we had a recorder. We got a recorder and we were trying to detect the resonant frequency, and it was like much harder than we thought because a recorder is not a pure tone instrument. It actually has a bunch of harmonics, and so we got pretty close. But it was, it's interesting, electronics versus the human ear and how we detect pitch and tone. What you learn in grade school is not really true. There's a lot of linearities and assumptions that we make. So I think I'm going to check this out. I'm fascinated by how you got it to work so well.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of surprised it works as well as it does. But
Yeah.
I want one more thing. So I had an invitation to join a band, so I hardened it up for stage use. Let me see if I can get
Oh,
the.
right on.
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So it's got a 100-watt amp on it. And,
As one does.
Yeah.
you know, if you can't be musical, you want, what's your next
Just be loud.
point of reference? Loud, right? Absolutely.
I had an art
So,
teacher that said, if you're not good, just paint big.
Right. Well, I got it set. You know, I've got gain control. It goes up to 11. Whatever.
All right. Well, nice work. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
by.
you.
This is
Keith,
cool.
this was absolutely delightful. Come back and show anything, anytime. And some folks put the link in the chat, and it's called the Zen Flute. And let us know as you do more with this. Absolutely beautiful.
Love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, everybody. Well, what an amazing
All
show
right,
and tell.
that was a wonderful sandwich.
I know.
if
We
you,
had
if you look at
watch-
with all the
We had a
things
lot of synthesizers on this show.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, who bring in your musical instruments.
All
I think we need music to bring us together.
kicking off the new year. I know things are a little stressful at the moment, probably for a lot of people, but there is a half an hour every week that we can come together and show and share the things we make together. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And again, thanks for the folks that were hosting the shows. I've been looking forward to this for a while because we were like, let's get back on the show and tell. So thank you, everyone, for coming by tonight. We'll see everybody on Ask an Engineer, and we'll see you next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, every Wednesday, show and tell. The longest running show and tell of electronics in the world. See you next week.
All right. See you in a few minutes.
Bye, everybody.
Ask Engineer.